So the First World War will continue on, and so far there really hasn't been much happening. I think these two heavyweight powers are kind of feeling each other out. I don't see any sort of aggressive movements from either one of these civs. I think they're both a little worried. Even from the Zulu standpoint, who I think have the advantage here, they haven't done anything with this war yet. So let's continue on our journey now. I think if anything, this war has really kind of helped out the Zulu and Shaka more than anything, because it looks like the Zulu Empire are still constructing their own spaceship parts. They just finished up. Oh, so Mongolia's pieced out with China, and you know what? Oh, and I didn't realize that this city had exchanged hands. So Mongolia, they stuck it out, but they did. They kicked out China from East Asia. So this is all Mongolian territory. All of it. And you know what? Now that they're not preoccupied, I'm wondering, with China, at least in Australia, how is this going to affect the war in the Pacific between the Ottomans constructing the Apollo program? That's strange. How is this going to kind of handle the war between Mongolia and Australia and their colonies with the New Zealand colonies? There seems to be a few troops, but not enough. If Mongolia sends down enough of their fleets, they should be able to handle this. Looks like they took a few more. This might be a city that they stole away from China. So this is a big deal. Now that Mongolia has freed up a few of their units, at least their fleet, from being too kind of duking it out with China, they were kind of winning that war in a landslide. How does this have an impact? Because they need to get things over here fast if they ever want to do something. Are these carriers with nukes, or are they just okay? They're just great war bombers. It looks like they might be attacking this territory first, though. I just want to see exactly where is the first bomb going to get laid down upon. Now, I don't see. Looks like Mongolia never use. Wait a second. What is that? This is pillaged. Okay, this is not Fallout or anything like that. Korea, Austria going to war with Sweden. Interesting. Seems like Carthage is. Oh, and Carthage, I think, will in fact drop Paris. There's way too many good wars going on right now to kind of watch everything. Sweden versus Austria, not that big of a deal. They might send a few planes over, but that's a pretty interesting one because these are probably the strongest European powers, Sweden and Austria going at it. Babylon might end up losing a city or two. It depends really on how much Arabia really invests in this war. And we also have a coalition against Persia, which I don't think is going to amount to anything. Where is Persia at? Here's Persia. Yeah, they're not being attacked or anything like that, so it seems like everything's just fine for now. So we have some nuclear bombs down this way, but they haven't used them yet. There's 2 and 2. They're continuing to maneuver airplanes around. A lot of troops filling up Zulu, Brazil. A whole bunch of troops, and so much movement going on as well. Yeah, they're going to do a blitzkrieg tactic here, sending in planes first. And then, Baja California for Mongolia? Maybe. So yeah, Sweden also joined in on that war. Oh, that actually has an impact because, Korea. Korea joined in on the war against Sweden. More than likely, Helsinki is probably going to fall. So surprised the Ottomans built the Apollo program. Who would have thought? That's crazy. Okay, so Shaka is secretly plotting against Elizabeth. That's not the first one. Genghis Khan is plotting against Egypt. We have Korea plotting against Egypt as well. And the Indian army is currently marching a surprise attack against another civ. Who could they be launching an attack against? Oh, well, it's got to be Arabia. Most of their troops are, I believe, out here in the east. In the west. How's the Indian Ocean going on with this world war? The Zulu have a lot of troops to the point where they're fine. I don't think they've lost really that many. I don't think either side has really lost that much yet, at least. Seems to be pretty even here. So far, it's like these. I don't know why. I just got to keep kind of relating it to like a boxing match where they're two heavyweights. They've been waiting for this showdown all their entire lives, but they're not jumping in after it. Looks like the Zulu are going to throw the first punch. There are minor skirmishes going on in the oceans, but that's not really having a big impact. Not really. If anything, I think that the Zulu have gotten a few ships sunk Not so much the Mongolians. However, that's probably going to change as Mongolia continues to regroup. I'm sorry, as the Zulu continue to regroup their fleet. And kind of get things going here. Mongolia's denounced China. All right. How's my sacred USG? It's looking good. I mean, they actually might declare war, a colonial war against Troyes in France, because I think Paris is going to fall. More than likely. Oh, now Carthage is getting around their fleet. Yeah, so now we'll have France drop. We will make Europe stronger. Promise you guys. I promise. This was a fun campaign, a nice vanilla campaign to watch, but I promise Europe is going to come back with a vengeance, and I'm very excited for it. Zulus still have not settled any of their settlers. They've got quite a few, but they've not done anything with it. And they haven't done anything with it, and they also haven't nuked anybody. Shaka's being a nice guy here. This war might not amount to anything, and maybe it was just a placebo effect. Maybe it was just Shaka declaring war, not minding the few skirmishes that were going to break out inside of the oceans. That way, maybe you distract Mongolia. It had to have somewhat distracted Mongolia a bit, because he did make peace with China. He might have made peace with China beforehand, but I can't really see it happening just because China had no troops, and Mongolia still had more and more of their armies pressing China's colonies down in Southeast Asia. So it's kind of hard to think. I mean, I could definitely see it either way. I could see Mongolia and Genghis Khan making peace with China, even without this war being declared war by Shaka. But I like to think that they needed the troops. The Shaka, the Zulu War was too much of it. It just had too much of an impact. It worried their citizens, and they were like, "Yeah, we got to make peace with China, and we've got to focus in on protecting our lands." Here we go. Here's the Zulu city being settled, and is this going to be a new point for a lot of planes are coming this way? Nothing nuclear though. No nuclear advancements. This is a Cold War. It's an official war, but it's kind of a Cold War. Technically it is, because out there in the seas, they've been getting into some battles, but nothing actually going on in the home world. Denmark has adopted freedom. How's Arabia doing? Let's check in on our wars. Arabia has actually stopped their offensive move against the Babylonian capital. Again, Babylon's been really lucky because they've been in between the... is it the Tigris and Euphrates River? I believe that's the two rivers in Iraq. I believe so. Anyway, so Arabia has denounced Morocco. We have Carthage, more than likely, because I think France is losing all their troops. We'll have it's going to be the third European to escape to the New World and lose most of their cities inside of most of their home empire cities inside of Europe, because we already have Denmark here. Germany was first, and then it was Denmark. Now we might see the same thing happening to France. Yeah, Denmark, yeah. We probably will see a few more. There's another city that's been settled. There is the spot that they're setting all their atomic bombs. They've got 5 nuclear bombs ready to go. I have not seen much activity from Mongolia and their own nuclear bombs. We've got one down south, I think, watching over territory here. It might be one of those, like, what's that called? Mutually assured destruction. MAD. That's what it is. Maybe that's what we're seeing here. They're not bombing each other because it's mutually assured destruction. Maybe they're just having a good old-fashioned war going on between these two superpowers here. I don't see any other placements. I think Mongolia might only have one nuke, to be honest. They might only have one nuke. No, they have two. They have two. They're just not putting them on the border. They're not using them. They could use them against New Zealand. You know, those are colonies that are pretty far away from the Zulu Empire, just like how these colonies are far away from the Mongolian Empire. So they don't mind just completely wrecking it. How is this small fleet doing? Oh, they look like they've been completely destroyed. There were 3 submarines somewhere back here. There's a privateer hiding in Swedish territory. Austria, there's nothing going on in Europe. I think the battleground is going to happen. There it is, yeah. Of course Helsinki is going to fall. Korea's got way too many advanced technological troops, but it doesn't matter. You can take Helsinki. It's not going to really help Korea out at all because they still have these SS boosters back here. And they actually only have one. Weirdly enough, they only have one. I believe most of the production will... They probably switched it inside of their capital city, more than likely. And Busan here. I'll probably check the spies after this turn is over. Poland has denounced England. Orleans might fall. Carthage looks like it might be back on its retreat again. Weirdly enough. That's what it seemed like. So I think the mad... you know what? I'm starting to think now that the whole mad tactic will be kind of... It'll stay. It'll remain within this war until a peace deal arrives or until the end of the world. I don't think they're going to nuke each other. I think they see that it's bad for both sides here. Look at all these paratroopers. Holy crap. These are paratroopers that are moving in, I'm thinking. Mongolia is going to slap down a new city, though. Wait, no, that's 3 tiles away. They can't. They better be careful. Okay, let's go ahead and check and see what's going on. Let's view inside of the Korean capital what you're building. You're building a nuclear submarine. Well, that's not what you should be building. Korea has a nuclear missile. Again, we talked about this. Because these two great powers are kind of, grinding each other down, who technically has the biggest military? It is, of course, the Zulu, as I figured. Population, Zulu. The only thing the Mongolians have is manufactured goods. Literacy, we don't know because I did it on purpose. I didn't want to see exactly who was going to win because I wanted it to be kind of a surprise. I didn't want to know who's number one in literacy because I wanted to be a surprise whoever won the game. So Korea is secretly plotting against Babylon. We've got the Attila's court plotting against Maria Theresa of Austria. All right, Arabia, how's it going? You're moving. You're offending. You're doing some more offense again. I'm waiting for the Ottomans to join in, though. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Ottomans to join in. Or if India declares war on Arabia, that could happen as well. Even Carthage declaring war on Arabia. But that would have to wait. That would have to wait before... Carthage has got to be finished off with France if they're going to do that. They've got to finish France. They can attack twice. They've got a battleship here and one artillery unit here. So Orleans could fall. And it looks like France isn't even trying to defend. They know. They've seen this multiple times throughout history. In the past few centuries, they've seen their other European brethren fall to African powers and outside sources, so they're not even trying. They're just moving more troops over towards their new world, and honestly, they're probably a lot more happier out here. Wow, this city ended up getting 20 population. That's awesome. That's really great for them. 20 population. That's probably the biggest in the new world. Maybe even bigger than... No... There's one Zulu city in the New World that's a little bit bigger at 21 pop. But still, for someone like France to get up a densely populated city like that, that's amazing. Mongolia's got 18 over here. Pretty good for them, too. Wow. Okay, I want to wait for Carthage's turn to process. It does look like... So what I'm thinking, what's probably the results, the initial results of this war is that Mongolia is going to get kicked out of the Atlantic Ocean. Seems appropriate. I don't see any sort of Mongolian ships out here anymore. As well as vice versa in the Pacific Ocean. Although it's going to be a lot harder because the Zulu, I believe, control a bigger navy. And the Pacific Ocean is a lot bigger. So it's harder to rid the Zulu out of here. I just want to see... Whoa, Mongolian missile cruiser. I think Mongolia is staying really conservative here. I love that they're doing the whole mad thing here. I love that. Mutually assured destruction. They're in complete agreement, at least for now. I don't know how long that's going to last, especially as... Oh, and they both got paratroopers. They're both bringing in paratroopers. They both know it's going to go down. Oh, this is getting so intense. They're both bringing in paratroopers surrounding their cities, surrounding the cities that are closest to each other, at least. I don't think we're going to see much action down here. Mongolia seems to be pretty safe, unless, of course, they nuke... The Zulu, I think, if anything, is going to nuke this city, but they don't have units. Oh, they might be going around this. I think, is this Cape Horn, I believe? I believe this is Cape Horn. They might be going around here to take this city. Holy crap. Mongolia still has not settled yet, while Korea still is settling. Okay, so new ideology has been chosen by Sweden. They've also gone for freedom. And we'll continue to pump on through this. Okay, so I think we might see a huge battle down here. It's going to be hard, though, because there's a small sliver of land in modern-day Mexico. It'd be tough for both of these guys to maneuver around here. This Zulu city doesn't help at all. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? They're getting their navy together. They're sending them down south towards Central America. Oh! I guess Mongolia can afford that. But, well, this is going to be a big one because Siam actually has a lot of troops. Wow. Well, maybe you're doing that for your friend in India. But that's a little bit ballsy here, Mongolia. Mongolia, that's really ballsy because you're going up against the world's biggest military power. I'm wondering if we're going to see more paratroopers arrive at any point. There's no roads connecting, so it is hard for the Zulu army to kind of navigate this rough terrain in this area. I think we see Zulu, Florida. That's what my guess is. Indonesia, getting to the New World. Congratulations. Right there in Northern America. I'm sorry, yeah, right there in Northern California is what I meant to say. Oh, planes shifting back and forth. But no nuke movement. Lots of nuke movement from the Zulu, but nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. What's going on in Australia? Do we see anything happening here? Nope. And I don't think we will. Unless, of course, I don't even see the fleet from up north moving down south towards their Mongolian colony, so I don't think we see much. This is going to be tough because Helsinki's been captured. This is going to be tough for both of these nations, just because Siam has got so many troops. India will probably do most of the dirty work for the most part. I think Mongolia will be pretty safe. Mongolia might actually save their nuke for Siam, a nation that doesn't have any nuclear capabilities, which is kind of sad, really messed up. But I could see that happening here. And how did the Zulu respond? The Zulu's turn is up next. Has Indonesia settled yet? I know the turn is just processed for him. How's Carthage doing? Yep, Orleans will fall. Oh, no, they don't have a melee unit to take that, though. They will not have a melee unit to take that. Well, actually, yeah, they will, because there's a road connecting it, so this guy can just walk into Orleans next turn. Then they'll probably set their sights to Paris, and as we thought, those great... Where are those great war infantry that France was sending out? They might have been destroyed. They could have been destroyed. I know I saw French great war infantry heading out toward the Atlantic Ocean, or maybe they made it there already. No, there's no way. It hasn't been that many turns. All right, Zulu, what are you doing? You're actually moving away from this city. Mongolia is moving away from this city, not watching it anymore. Yep. Yep, you are combining your navies, and you're getting a huge force in Brazil. Yes, and like we thought, they're moving around, I believe it's Cape Horn. They're moving around Cape Horn, and I think they probably will take this Mongolian city unless they've got backup coming. Unless Mongolia and Genghis Khan has any sort of backup coming. I don't think they do. Could be just an exchange of colonies that we might see from these powerhouses. Let's watch as France tries to figure this out for them. They were able to destroy one great war infantry that Carthage had under their control. But this is a railroad. Oh, well, it's a road, and then a railroad here. I guess they weren't able to finish it completely. Okay, Carthage's turn is up next. Mongolia and Indonesia friends. Oh, I guess you needed friends somehow, for some reason. I forgot about this. Wait a second. Because Mongolia declared war on Siam, that's why they're moving these troops up this way. Well, Siam might be completely destroyed. What is this? Genghis Khan now built their third SS booster, so they only need 3 more spaceship parts up. This is getting close. This is remaining extremely close. Could this actually... I'm wondering if this would actually... Because I know the problem with Mongolia and the Zulu are they're both behind in technology. If anyone's going to lose cities, it's going to be Mongolia. But Mongolia probably will only lose very small cities. Small populated cities. So if that's the case, that could actually help them out when researching technologies. Decreasing the limited amount of research you need to get a technology. This could help them if they lose a few cities. Weirdly enough. Weirdly enough, that could help them. Alright, Zulu, I just want to see what you do in your turn. If you continue, I'm sure you're going to continue for this here, and you're probably going to amass a massive fleet in the Toledo region. Indonesia has denounced Carthage, and we have Indonesia also entering the atomic era. Yes, we're doing it. Yes, Zulu Disneyland. It's the Zulu Disneyland. I think that's what they're going for. I think they need the oil as well to supply all their aircrafts. There it is. We have San Francisco, Indonesia. The Indonesian San Franciscans. San Franciscans? I forgot the name for people of San Francisco. San Franciscans. I cannot remember. I know I knew it beforehand. So no nuclear activity so far. It might stay. It might remain like that until things really heat up, because now you're starting to get a lot of things occurring, where Mongolia was kind of not the smartest, and they declared war on Siam with India. I get that somewhat, but Siam is not. I mean, they're not super weak, but they're not super powerful. So it was just, I don't know. Just kind of a head-scratcher move by Genghis Khan. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.